Look at the device in your hand. Really look at it. You are holding a miracle. A slab of glass and silicon that contains more processing power than the entire world possessed 60 years ago. We live in an age of instant gratification, where the sum of human knowledge is a thumb swipe away. We have conquered distance. We have automated thought. We have built a world that is fast, sleek, and terrifyingly efficient. But as we stand on the peak of this digital revolution, I want you to listen. Beyond the hum of your high-end processor, beyond the silent notification on your screen, can you hear it? It's the sound of a click, the physical grind of a gear, the hiss of a needle finding its groove on a spinning disc of vinyl. It's the sound of a world we are rapidly forgetting, a world of vintage technology. Today, we find ourselves in a quiet, invisible battle. It's not just a battle of machines. It's a battle for our attention, our patience, and our very connection to reality. It's a war between the old and the new. And the question isn't, which one is better? The question is, what have we traded away to get where we are? Think back. Or, if you're too young to remember, imagine. Imagine a time when taking a photograph meant you had exactly 24 chances. There was no delete button. There was no filter to hide the flaws. You had to stand still. You had to wait for the light. You had to breathe. When you pressed that shutter, you weren't just capturing data. You were committing to a moment. You wouldn't see the result for days, maybe weeks. And when you finally held that physical piece of paper in your hand, it wasn't just an image. It was a memory you could touch. Modern tech has given us the ability to take 10,000 photos in a single afternoon. But ask yourself, how many of them do you actually look at? We have replaced the weight of the physical with the infinity of the digital. We have traded the sacred few for the disposable many. This is the central paradox of our time. Compare that to the modern word processor. We type at the speed of thought. We cut, we paste, we rearrange. The barrier between the mind and the page has vanished. That's a triumph of engineering, yes. But something happens when the friction is removed. When things become too easy, they often become less meaningful. The struggle, the literal, physical resistance of the old world, wasn't a bug. It was a feature. It was what kept us grounded in the present. We see this battle playing out in every corner of our lives. Look at the return of the vinyl record. Why, in an era of lossless digital streaming, would anyone want a bulky, fragile, expensive disc that scratches? Because the digital file is a ghost. It has no body. It lives in a cloud you can't see. But a record has a soul. You have to clean it. You have to carefully lower the tone arm. You have to sit and listen to the whole album. In order, the way the artist intended. It forces you to stop. It forces you to be here. Modern tech is built on the philosophy of frictionless. We want everything to happen without effort. We want our cars to drive themselves, our homes to anticipate our needs, our AI to write our emails. We are removing the human from the loop. And while that makes us more productive, it also makes us more passive. We are becoming spectators in our own lives. The vintage world was a world of mechanical empathy. You knew how your bicycle worked because you could see the chain. You knew why the clock ticked because you could see the pendulum. There was a transparency to the old tech. It invited you to understand it. Modern tech is a black box. You cannot see the billions of transistors in. This isn't just about nostalgia. This isn't about being old-fashioned. This is about the architecture of the human experience. We evolved in a world of physical things. We evolved to use our hands, to feel texture, to navigate space. When we migrate entirely into the digital, we are moving into a space we weren't designed for. We are living in a world of ones and zeros, but we are made of blood and bone. So, where does the battle end? Does the new completely erase the old? I don't think so. In fact, I think we are seeing a great rebalancing. We are starting to realize that more is not always better. We are seeing a generation that grew up with iPads, now reaching for film cameras and fountain pens. Not because they are more efficient, they aren't, but because they provide something the digital world cannot: a sense of permanence, a sense of being real. The future of technology shouldn't be about choosing one over the other. It should be about integration. It's about using the power of the modern to solve the world's problems, while holding on to the wisdom of the vintage to keep our souls intact. It's about having a smartphone in your pocket to stay informed, but having a paper journal on your desk to stay sane. We must remember that technology is a tool, not a destination. It is a bridge, not the land itself. If we allow the speed of the new to completely overwrite the depth of the old, we will find ourselves in a very efficient, very fast, very empty place. As you move through your day, pay attention to the tools you use. Notice the difference between the things that just happen and the things you make happen. The battle between old and new tech is ultimately a mirror of the battle within ourselves. It is the struggle to remain conscious in a world designed to make us sleep. Cherish the miracle of the modern. Use the speed. Use the connectivity. Use the power. But don't forget the beauty of the click. Don't forget the value of the wait. Because in the end, the most important piece of technology ever created isn't the one in your hand. It's the one between your ears. And it was designed to feel, to create, and to be present, long before the first line of code was ever written. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments below.